All right, we're ready whenever you are.
We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First item will be roll call.
Kirby,
Here.
Craig,
Here.
Ham,
Here.
Dean,
Here.
Walker,
Here.
West.
Here. So, let's link this. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We want to take a moment of silence if they want. To approve the agenda with the addition of the geotech bid opening for unfinished business.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Everyone's had a chance to review the previous meeting's minutes. If there are no additions or corrections, plan approval is presented. Okay. One visitor, Danielle, joint communication. No public comments sent in. So we'll move on to the officer's report. Chief's report.
Our report starts on page 4. Since our last, this last meeting I reported out on, I've been appointed to president of the Ambulance District Association of Missouri, which is an organization we're a member of. We look out for the well-being and best interests of the ambulance districts in the state. When it comes to legislative processes and getting things taken care of with the legislator. With that appointment also came an appointment to the MOEMSAC board, which is the Missouri EMS Agent Corporation. They manage the FRA, which is the Federal Reimbursement Allowance. They work closely with Medicaid and other state payers to assist with reimbursement for ambulance services in Missouri. The Ambulance District Association of Missouri will be hosting their annual meeting here in December at our organization. Operations call volume year to date, Pettis is at 7,886 calls as of the end of last month, with Windsor at 940. Building and grounds, when I wrote this and sent it out, they were nearing completion with the Station 2 bedroom project. It is complete along with the awning across the street. We're all finished. New equipment, we've got the new command ones in service. Regular preventative maintenance performed. Had a few vehicles need new batteries. Other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. However, Friday night, I'll make you all aware, one of our ambulances did hit a deer on North 65. Did some pretty significant damage to the front of the ambulance. We're hoping it's repairable. I think it is. The airbags didn't deploy those. That's the one thing that makes it questionable whether or not it is repairable.
Which unit was it?
Unit 6. Both employees were checked out of the hospital. They're fine. Just some minor soreness, minor injuries, if you will, but nothing terrible. But I'll figure to make you guys aware of it. I'll let you guys know. We filed everything with insurance, but we still haven't really got any answers back yet to really know where we stand with that just yet. Monthly competencies are being completed by the FTOs on the shifts. And that's where they just go out and make sure all the employees are doing well with intubation, drug dosages, and different parts of the protocol. Mandatory quarterly training is scheduled for next month. Battalion Chief Myers and Clemens have completed the first portion of the Ambulance Service Manager class, which is in Oklahoma City. They'll go back in December and do their final portion of NC and then course completion along with that. And then they'll be done. And then I believe Flo and Donnie and Justin will go in January, is that right?
I think January, March.
They'll go for their first portion in January. Basically what that is, it's leadership training for those guys. It's pretty intensive. It's 2 weeks of in-seat, and then there's project work in the middle that they have to do. So I think it's beneficial. Eric and myself went through it several years ago. It was a very amazing class. So I think they're gonna get a lot of good out of it. The heat maps for today for September. That should have been October. I apologize. Not much different than usual. The county heat map still looks about the same, along with Henry County. Sleeper Smith, one of our EMTs, she obtained her state paramedic license. She's currently on orientation with an FTO. And Captain Bobby Sanchez has advised us of his retirement to be effective at the end of this year. We're currently planning a celebration for him. We want it to coincide with our awards banquet like we did last year. Looks like we're going to do it on December 29th at the Moose Lodge. But there'll be more to come on that. I don't know any specifics just yet, but we'll keep you guys in the loop. The new unit update, the 2 new ambulances are currently in Columbia. Graphics are completed. They're currently getting other equipment installed on the vehicles, and I got to run another piece up to them tomorrow. To hopefully, we should see those, I would think, probably next week, maybe the week after. So they're well on their way. Breakdown of the call volume is on page 8. We're consistently staying above last year's numbers. So I'm pretty sure we're going to break 10,000 calls. So I don't think there's any way around that one. Not unless we slow down a lot from down into the year. Unless you guys have questions, that's the end of my report.
Is there any way to get the heat map just a little bit more detailed?
I can try. How much?
Easier to see it up there.
Yeah, we might be able to bring it up on the big screen for you guys. Maybe that'd be easier to see it.
Oh, I'm just, when people are interested why we have to put a station over there on the west side, I said, well, look here, all the stuff's right around the one we got. That's what on this picture.
Well, I mean, it also,
Yeah.
last month's was a little bit off, but I mean, generally speaking, your heat maps, even Stevens on both sides of town. I mean,
Right, but that's why I was wondering if we had a little zoom in a little bit more, get a little bit more.
yeah, we can zoom it in
Yeah.
more. I mean, you can make it bigger if we need to. I mean,
Any other questions for the chief?
We have certificates for like retiring people.
I got it. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think, so he's been with us for, I think, 10 years. So we're gonna do a 10-year, but he's also been in EMS for 37 years. So we're gonna do something special for that as well. And then he was one of the hometown heroes through the Democrat. So I got something going on with that article as well. So, yes, sir.
Have something as a board that we could, board certificate of appreciation or something.
I know that faster.
Yep.
Like the Golden Gurney Award.
Hey, there you
Golden
go.
Gurney.
I like it.
Little miniature gurney.
No, don't listen to that. No.
It's like Andy edition. So I come up with in 10 seconds.
I done made a note, Golden Gurney.
I'm sure you would enjoy that.
Any other questions for the chief? Not, we'll move on to approved payment of the outstanding bills.
And if we've got the bill today for the Station 2 construction, if you guys want to go ahead and approve that and get it, it's the $50,250, it's the same as the bid was. That takes the total to 166. Carry now running 383.08. Yes. Here we go. Any questions on any of those?
If there are no questions, I take a motion to approve payment of those bills.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Presentations, Pettis County Joint Communications.
Thank you for having me here tonight. This is my fourth year. I had the pleasure of meeting some of you, but I don't think I've met all of you. Joint Communications is a standalone 911 center. We are separate from any entity associated with the county. We're not associated with the Sheriff's Office or the Sedalia Police Department. We are the primary public safety answering point for Pettis County, so all 911 calls for Pettis County will come into our center. And the first thing I want to start with this year is some of the accomplishments that we've been able to get through this year. We've got a couple of really important things. The first one is the Missing Kids Readiness Program. It is the MKRP by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And the MKRP program is a program in which we have received national review of our policies, procedures, and expectations handling missing persons cases. We are one of 6 entities in the state of Missouri that carry that certification. So of the 118 911 centers available, there's only 6. One of them is here in Pettis County. An important milestone that we made this year was our ISO ratings. ISO ratings are a grade of our working with fire departments. All of the fire departments within Pettis County had an ISO rating occur over the past year, and this is the first year that Joint Communications has been included in that grading program. With that said, we received a 90% in emergency reporting and 90.44 in telecommunicators training and certification. What that looks like for the community is that this is the first year that every fire department in Pettis County received at least 1, if not 3 additional communication points associated specifically to 911. And almost all of our fire departments increased an entire letter grade. I don't want to take full credit for all of those because all of our fire departments work extensively on expanding their programs and their services, but we were able to give the majority of the telecommunicator votes and points possible for that. All right, so for our center activity, I'll look at a couple different aspects of what we do. The first thing we're going to look at is our call volume year over year. I've included 2022, 2023, and 2024 up through October 1st of this year. Our 911 calls are stable compared to 2022. I don't know if we're going to hit the same point that we had in 2023. We may be a little shy of that. Our administrative calls were on track to reach that same 60,000 points for this year. However, we were able to install a automated phone tree within our phone handling system this year, which is helping to direct some callers who never should have been sent to 911 or to our administrative lines, and we're helping route those callers a little bit faster. We're also responsible for our officer-initiated or responder-initiated activity, and so far it looks like that's going to remain trending just above the 20,000 mark.
Can I interject?
Yes.
I went into the lobby at the police department, picked up the phone in the lobby to talk to somebody upstairs for a meeting, and got joint communications.
Yes, sir.
Does that count as one of those calls?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yes. And that's set up at the request of the Sedalia Police Department.
Yeah, but that's, it was during business hours too, that's what.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What is an administrative call?
An administrative call can be anyone who is requesting a call for service from a field responder, whether it be law, fire, or EMS that they have chosen not to call 911 for.
Or you want to go to a meeting upstairs.
Or if you want to go to a meeting downstairs. All right. Our call processing times is something that I keep a close eye on. There's a lot of scrutiny in the public over how quickly a 911 call can be answered. Right now, the National Emergency Number Association has decided that a 5-second answer time is what's appropriate for a 911 line. You should be answering your 911 lines 5 seconds or under 90% of the time. So for our 911 lines, we have 4.1 second answer time, and we're doing that 98.32% of the time. Our administrative lines, again, Nina has indicated that they should be answered within 10 seconds, and we have a 4.6 average answer time. And coming down from that, Nina has indicated that we should be hitting that 80% of the time, and we are doing that 96% of the time. There are some centers that have a 90-second answer time for an average.
Wow.
So this is something that's, it's very important. All right. So our average answer to dispatch time for medical emergencies. In 2022, shortly after we stood up, we had an average dispatch time of 52 seconds. That is after the address has been obtained. In 2023, that dropped to 44 seconds, and so far in 2024, we're at 39 seconds. To actually get someone verbally dispatched and aware of a call for service.
Is there a target number that you're looking for on that?
The AHA indicates that it should be within 120 seconds after the address has been obtained. And we're doing it in 39 seconds right now.
I just noticed it going down, if in 25, it go down a little bit more, or will
I hope.
it stabilize?
I hope it will go down. I don't believe it would be physically possible to get it below 25.
That's what I was wondering.
I just don't think it'd be physically possible to do that. But I could see it potentially going down to somewhere between the 25 and 30 mark eventually, because that's after the address has been obtained.
Okay.
All right. So our proposed budget, the budget that we are going to be proposing has been presented to the 911 advisory board. And they are aware of, my papers got mixed together. All right. So yes, it has been presented to the board. That does carry their support collectively. We were unable to make any additional reductions to expenses. The first thing I want to show you is 2024 to 2025. The proposed expenditures overall has a reduction of approximately $75,000. This reduction is primarily associated with the elimination of 2 expansion positions that we had requested that we were never able to fill. So eliminating those 2 expansion positions does reduce the line item for salary and wages. There is an increase in the purchase of new equipment, significant increase of $33,000 year over year. And that is directly related to the purchase of a new server for our center. That server at the time of purchase in 2019, 2020, it had a 5-year life expectancy. And our IT department has indicated that we do need to prepare for the replacement of that server at some point in 2025. And the estimated cost of that is right around $32,000. That was the numbers provided to me from our IT department. There is a reduction in the telephone and data line usage, and that is primarily due to the removal of the analog copper POTS lines that we had previously been discussing last year. Once that was implemented, we did start seeing some reduction in those costs, and for the year, it should be approximately $11,000. So if I could get the next slide, please. Most PSAPs average about 80% of their budget to salary and wages because that is the primary expense associated with a PSAP. With our proposed budget that we have for 2025, we are looking at approximately 69% of our budget will be allocated towards persons' salary, wages, and their benefits. So we are remaining within the industry standards of what is acceptable. All right, our base revenue sources. We have the any device fee, which is producing approximately $425,000 annually. If you're not familiar with that device fee, it is $1 per device that can access 911. I always like to use my personal cell phone plan as an example. On my plan, I have myself, my daughter, I have a phone, she has a phone, I have a watch, she has a watch, I also have an iPad on my plan. All of those devices can call 911. Because I have 5 devices on my plan that can call 911, every month I pay $5. With that $5, 2% of it stays with the retailer for handling the administration of those funds. Then they send it to the Department of Revenue. The Department of Revenue retains an additional 1% for handling the funds for distribution, and then it flows back into the PSAPs. We have an additional statewide prepaid tax. This is a tax that is applied to any prepaid purchase, not a device. A prepaid purchase greater than $15. So if someone goes in and buys a prepaid card for $15, there's no tax on that. This is only going to be applicable to persons making a prepaid purchase of $15 or more, and again, the device is not taxed. 2% stays with the retailer, 1% stays with the Department of Revenue. The contracts that the county, the city, and PCAD entered into in 2019-2020, the base revenues were $200,000 from Pettis County, $300,000 from the city of Sedalia, and $150,000 from PCAD. We're averaging approximately $1,000 in interest and miscellaneous fees of $200 annually. The total revenue does not equal the total budget. The base revenues and with the proposed expenditures does create a deficit of $405,806. I get the next slide.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I hit it, it wouldn't advance. Gotcha.
That would equal out to an estimated $135,000 per entity for 2025. I know that that is a lot, and that is a significant increase. However, we have eliminated all rollover funds that we previously held as an agency. The board has entered into discussion to find alternative revenue streams and alternative revenue sources. At this point, the board is considering a couple different options, whether it be a sales tax or a public safety tax. What that will be is going to be determined and suggested by the board. For reference, approximately 48% of the counties in Missouri actually use a sales tax. Only 9% are using the any device fee. All right. Good. Looking forward, there are challenges that we anticipate to face. All centers across the country are facing similar challenges. Staffing is the number one issue that our agencies face. Just like public safety, all across the board, staffing is always going to be an issue, but according to NENA, approximately 82% of 911 centers are understaffed. Some of them as much as 35%. And they have voiced that the primary concern is a issue with trainees not making it through their first year of employment and wages not being competitive with other sectors. Mental health and wellness. If you are not familiar with our mental health and wellness program, we have a program here in Pettis County that other agencies are attempting to model. We have a stress monitoring application that monitors the overall stress of our operators on a 7 and 30-day rolling period, as well as by specific incidents. Anytime those triggers are hit, they are referred for additional stress management resources, and we have a counselor that comes in quarterly to work with them through anything that they may be facing. Technology is always an issue within 911 centers because the technology that we receive our 911 calls on was actually built in 1968. And we are looking at moving forward with a next-gen platform. The next-gen platform grants, we have received notification that we've been approved for a grant. However, we have not signed contracts on that yet, and I do not know what the impact will that be. That's all I have this year.
What does next gen technology look like?
Next gen
Gaming
technology.
headphones or?
The next gen technology is similar to a VoIP calling service. Instead of the old wire lines that we all had in our houses that was a direct line from one point to another, it's going to be a internet-based platform that we can recover faster from a disaster, and then any place that has an internet connection or a wireless cradle point will be able to plug in and automatically start answering 911 calls. We can even route, we will have local control over if there's a specific area that has been affected by an incident. We can route all of the calls from that specific area to a specific set of operators or one operator in particular to help streamline that incident control. We'll also be able to expand to accept text messages and video services from the callers.
Which of the two systems, the 1968 or the 2025, is most susceptible to terrorist type attacks? Like
A denial of service.
Whatever, denial of service.
A denial of service.
Are we gonna wish we still had one of those bat phones wired up or?
So I know that Phoenix did experience a denial of service 2 years ago, and that was due to a bad actor that had obtained the direct dial lines for the 911 point. How he obtained those, I do not know. That has not been disclosed.
But in that case, we lose all fire, police, ambulance, all communication.
It would be incoming 911 calls. We would still be processing them as quickly as we could. Because the way that would work is it would just be a ringing line, and then once you hang up, it would be and we would have to continue to process those. The platform that we're looking at for the next gen system has a dedicated service to help prevent that, and it's all controlled through the same legacy providers that are currently existing now, who are no longer providing care and maintenance for the legacy.
I just wondered if we're gonna get so far out there that some fourth grader
I hope not.
hangs up. All right, thank you.
I hope not. All right, anything else?
Any other questions?
All right, if you guys ever want to come down and check it out, please let me know, and I can get you in for a tour, and I can show you what the coal handling looks like. All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Have a good evening.
I'll send you my bill.
All right.
Any other questions on the joint communications? If not, we'll move on to unfinished business, the audit bid opening. Apparently free. Yeah. We got a bid from Smart Solutions CPA. Apparently from Chicago. Hood and Associates. From Sedalia. Hood and Associates. And Westbrook and Company from Richmond, Carrollton area. So in the past, we've let Jamie take these bids and review them and then come back with a recommendation. So I guess we'll table that till the next meeting and she'll can have a recommendation for us. Next is accounting, the accounting services. Right, we have one from Anchor Point. It's the only one we have. Today.
What is it?
Anchor Point
Anchor Point.
Advisory Group from Sedalia. And that's the only one we have for that. So we want Jamie to take this and review it.
Yeah, because they still have to meet the qualifications, right? They still have to verify that they have to meet the.
Cute.
But I mean, if they meet it, then we don't really have much resource there.
Well, a choice would be if we're gonna do that or try to find a CFO.
Speaking of.
Yeah,
are we
I've
gonna
got-
address that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready for that?
Yes, CFO job.
Okay, so we posted that on Indeed. I do have 2 resumes here. I've got copies if you guys wanna look at them. One person is from California and one is from Florida.
California, the city or California?
The state.
Okay. I learned that real quick when I moved here.
And from reading these, I don't see any CPA certifications. They both have MBA degrees, but I don't see CPA letters anywhere. So you want to.
Are they experienced or are they looking to launch their career here?
They have experience, but I don't know if you're gonna find that they're actually gonna wanna move here. The job is listed as in person, but it was listed as in office, so. Can I get another?
Thoughts?
I don't really see skill sets that Jamie has.
Well, let's not hold them to that high of a standard, but no, yeah, I agree. On some of them, a lot of this was in things outside of, this type of accounting. I mean, accounting's accounting, but I mean, specific to our industry. A lot of this is, I saw,
Money management.
there you go.
It's more asset.
Now,
That's what
to
way more asset.
Vicente's, he's fluent in Spanish, which is going to be more important in this business.
But, and also financing, but we don't have that issue. We're not looking, we don't need to, I mean, we have our revenues. It's not the same as.
Yeah.
So.
We can table those job applications and have Jamie review this qualifications and come back with recommendations for us. We'll move on to the geotech bid openings. And I assume Navigate will look at these.
We have a meeting scheduled Thursday. Is that right? Is that right? The 14th. Yeah, that'd be Thursday.
There's one from,
We have one tomorrow for the
Tomorrow, yes.
kickoff,
Okay.
but we have another one for geotech.
there's one from Terracon Consultants Incorporated. Intertech PSI. PSI Geotechnical. So navigate, review those and give us a recommendation. We'll move on to new business resolution 2024-06, declare election and candidate file. Motion to approve that resolution. It's 1 and 4 that are up this year. So moved. Unless everybody else gets to read it. Do we have a second? Any discussion?
Nothing's changed on this.
Right,
It's the
standard.
same as last time around, isn't it?
Yeah,
Dates.
dates of the year,
Yeah.
Just
year
the
and the days.
And it's attracted terrific people, so.
Why'd you look at me like that?
Yeah, you laughing at me? Have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Employee handbook review.
Yeah, we met with Christian, to do some insurance, reviews and to get some insurance bids. A couple of weeks ago, he mentioned a service, that, the insurance company that we're with right now, Mike Keith Insurance, has, which is basically a handbook review. It'd be our employee handbook. They're gonna go and review all the policies. There's been some changes that we're thinking about making due to the union negotiations and stuff. So, and talking to Roy, that handbook has not been reviewed in a very long time. So I figured it was gonna be a good idea to go and give that to them to review. They review it for state and federal rules and regulations and mandates. And they do everything else, you know, legal. They basically present it to their legal team. They go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And then they come back with a recommendation of changes that need to be made. They also do changes and do a new format and make sure everything is, you know, legal, right, and according to all the different state and federal regulations. I believe it's 2,000.
750, I think is what he said.
2750. I was either 2,250 or 2750 is the contract. We can get it all sent off in PDF. They will review it. I can go and have it to you guys with all the changes and everything else that they recommend.
Then when they're done, they have a disclaimer that if we do have a problem with the difference between may and shall, it's not their fault.
Probably. I think that's probably standard.
Where is that in the budget? Where does that fit?
It is not, Jamie said we could put it under the legal, some of the legal funds that we have not used for this year, we can go and it be covered under that, or if you guys want, we can roll it into the budget for next year. I was trying to get an early start on it, so we can maybe get it all finalized by January, or at least middle of January, with the January board meetings.
Yeah, sounds like it fit under legal.
I would think that is correct.
So we have a motion to approve it.
So let's just ask ourselves, if someone had done that long ago, we wouldn't be in court, right?
No, those were bylaws.
Those were bylaws. They won't review our bylaws too for us.
I can ask, I don't know.
It's probably not their HR attorneys. I wouldn't guess their bylaws is not their forte.
It's too bad we didn't have better advice on that too, but okay. Yeah, I think it's probably good preventive maintenance.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. All opposed, same sign. Take a motion to go into closed session pursuant to RSMO 610.021, sections 1 and 9.
So moved.
Second. All in favor, be roll call.
Becky,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Hale.
Yep.
Steve,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Wendy.
Yes.